And we are back. The International Brazilian Opera Company is a not-for-profit organization that's dedicated to fostering a unique operatic repertoire, blending Brazilian and international artistic influences while nurturing emerging talent through educational initiatives. IBOC proudly presents the newest season of the Chimera Music and Storytelling Festival. And we've got now joining us the board president and co-founder of IBOC, Christina Morgan. And Christina, thank you so much.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Exciting time for you.
Yeah, it is.
It is. And so
yes.
the organization has been around for about 10 years.
That's correct. Exactly 10 years. This is our 10-year anniversary of our official founding.
Right. So 10 years. And did you ever see yourself making it to this point?
It's been an unexpected journey. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I thought, we always had reasons to continue, so we did.
For yourself, when you look at the organization as a whole and what it brings to the community, how would you define it?
I would say we work a lot, our specialty is working with immigrant artists, which is sort of an overlooked group in the, broader, scheme of things as far as immigrant services. And we help them a lot with O1 visas so they can stay and work legally in the United States. It's called the Extraordinary Abilities Visa. So I think that's one thing that makes us stand apart. And, also classical music traditionally is very closed, not very diverse. And so we help a lot of underrepresented artists get their experience and foot in the door. And a lot of them have gone on to work at major European opera houses. Some people have sang in the Met Chorus. So it's a good, because honestly, most of the people who graduate even from places like Juilliard, they don't get placement. So they need places to get experience that's a bridge to a larger career.
So you have this unique way of doing almost like community engagement through the arts. Share with us a little bit about how you're able to do this community engagement as with artists as a focal point.
I think just because of the individuals who founded it, we're all community-minded people, very civic-minded people. So that was always going to be a component of it. We didn't like the idea of the arts being elitist. So we've always had programming whenever we could in local schools. And this, program that we're having this year, the Chimera Festival, that was always in partnership with the West 111th Street Association. So that was a way to engage our neighbors and just become more of a part of the community and visible in the community.
So for people who are going to take part in this festival on May the 18th, great time for you. Obviously, a little Greek mythology in there as well?
Yes, that's correct. A chimera is an ancient Greek mythological figure in which they would put two different creatures together. If you think like the man with the horse and the human, or a lion and a dragon put together, that's a chimera. And so because this is a mix of different types of music and activities, that's where we got the inspiration from.
Yeah. And the artists that will be participating, give us a little background.
Yes, we're always going to have one local artist per show, specifically from Upper Manhattan. And the artist who's opening this year, his name is Jayani. I believe he graduated from Columbia with a degree in music and business, and he's kicking off his world tour, very young, exciting new artist who likens himself to Bruno Mars, except he was born in Hong Kong.
Right.
But he had American and I think Gujarati parents. And then we have one of an IBOC artist, Hugo Sanboni, who's from Bahia, Brazil. And he is working on a project called the Iemanjá Project, which is named after the deity, one of the major deities from Bahia, which is the goddess of the water, very important deity. And he's working on an opera inspired by this deity's story. And he specializes in jazz, and especially Afro-Brazilian jazz, which is, a very unique subset of the larger component, larger world of jazz, I should say. And then we're finishing with a woman named Davinia, who was a Eurovision finalist for her country of Malta. And she sings pop songs.
Storytelling is always a huge component of what you guys do. And it's major, when you have arts. I think for people, having a connection through storytelling really opens them up to a new kind of world. For you, what does storytelling mean?
Storytelling, as we envisioned it, is people who want to just come up onto the stage. Last year was very relaxed. and just talk about something that was meaningful to them, like specifically about the neighborhood. And so it's just anybody that wants to express themselves, you know, verbally in that way. You know, it's not just, you don't have to have like an extraordinary musical talent, but it's just a way for people to get to know their neighbors and, you know, get to learn more about who lives with you and what their story is and something you might not have known about your neighborhood. It's very, very organic.
But there's a power, if you will,
There is.
with storytelling and then also music.
Yeah, there is. So you start telling stories through both. It's a way of communication. It's what makes us human, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So as people participate and have an opportunity to be a part of this festival and they go back home, what is it that you're looking for them to take away from the experience?
I want them to be introduced to some different types of music that they probably haven't heard, because we don't do covers at this performance. It's all originals. And, you know, just that this is something there for the community to participate in. And, you know, everything starts small. You know, again, this started as an idea. And this year we got funding from the New York City Department of Culture, which is a big step for us, and validation that this is something that is, you know, of use to the outside world. And next thing you know, we'll be Coachella.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's a goal. You never know, and keep pressing, and we'll see where it goes. But the diversity that you have really speaks a lot. You got opera, and then when we talk about opera, Brazilian opera. When people think of Brazil, there are different kinds of music, but opera doesn't always rise to the top. Talk to me about that diversity.
Well, our co-founder and artistic director, he is Brazilian, so that was the inspiration for the name. And one of our founding goals was always to foster collaboration between Brazilian and international artists. And also, when you think of Brazil, it's a very diverse place where there's every ethnicity, so many different types of people, but through putting it together, something new emerged. And so we like to say we're Brazilian in spirit. By combining these different ideas from people who have different backgrounds, a new type of opera can emerge. Something that's, you know, different and has a different style, and, you know, that can possibly like reach different audiences.
Yeah. As this goes year by year, talk to me, reaching year 10, that's a milestone. That's a milestone year for you. What do you feel was the major moment, if you will, in your 10-year career so far?
There's been a lot of major moments. I mean, I feel like from the time when we officially became a 501c3, that was a big step. It was a big step when one year we toured a cast of Swedish singers for the Seven Seal Opera in Brazil, and we got funding from Volvo in Brazil. It was a big step when we got, you know, recognition from the Boston Opera for a Merit Award for our first opera, Tamanduá, which was the first opera performed in Portuguese in the United States, as far as we know. And this year, getting the funding from the Department of Culture, that was a big step for us too.
So if people want to get up and find out more information, how do they go about doing that?
They can go to chimerafestival.com, or maybe it's easier to remember iboc.nyc.
Yeah. Well, Christina, I want to thank you so much for being with us and sharing. Christina Morgan, who's also the president and the co-founder of IBOC. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, I want you to know, viewers, if you want more information, yes, again, visit the website iboc.nyc and chimerafestival.com. Encourage you, don't go anywhere. We got more open coming up right after this.